Hello folks, this is Will from Pkrn Radio Live. On Saturday, April the 2nd, 2016, we were continuing our Haunted Texas theme show with a very special guest from San Antonio, Texas, San Antonio Ghost Hunters, John Delgado and Glenn Martinez. We caught several unexplained anomalies that we really could not explain on the audio playback. The first batch of EVPs was when Glenn was discussing his credentials and talking about his experiences and kind of introducing himself on the show.
Sir, I have a degree in, and as time went by.
At the end of that, you may have heard a raspy whisper. I'll go ahead and play that back again. I cannot make out what it is saying. Second EVP is a little bit more recognizable. Glenn was discussing about helping people during really crazy demonic situations with his deliverance ministry. What you'll hear is a really loud whisper that says help over Glenn talking.
You know, some cases are, we have the time to do it. Sometimes we don't, because we do have to work jobs.
Right, sure.
But like once you start helping people, you want to help everybody. But believe me, it's not that easy. I don't live the life where I'm just a full reverend.
The third EVP that we captured was a very loud bang, almost sounded like a drum beat. I also can confirm from both Melissa and I, John Delgado, San Antonio Ghost Hunters, that there was no moving of objects, there was no car crash, nor were there any snare drums in either one of the rooms where we were at. So pay attention closely to also the end. You may hear a clicking sound. I think that it could be a spirit talking, but the main thing to focus on is the loud bang. Here we go.
I'm like, oh, crud. And that's when me and John first really started getting into the porthole aspect. Because even in my teaching, it didn't teach as much about.
The next sound you're going to hear is another bang. Later on in the conversation, Glenn was talking about portals. This time, the bang is not as loud. I tried to create this bang by setting a cup of water on the desk here in the dungeon, and it did not have the same effect.
Portholes, you know what I mean? Talk more about just low-level cleansings or you know, whatever.
The fifth anomaly that was caught was a response to Glenn and John talking. We were talking about attachments at a location, and to me, it sounds like it may say careful. I will amplify it at the end, so that way you can judge for yourself.
And then we throw them out. We go, get out of our car. You're not going with us. It's a few of them will try to sneak home with us and stuff. You know, just like you said, once you mess with it, you'll know what you're picking up.
Right, exactly.
So,
and I will play the response back now, amplified only. The next EVP is actually that, an EVP. Glenn and I are talking, and over Glenn and I, you hear a voice say, "Duke, you hear me?" Duke was barking at that moment, One of the things we brought out on the show was that we would felt like we would capture some kind of EVP while either Duke or Charlie were barking, and it's let you judge for yourself.
It's going to go kicking and screaming. The client has to get up and say, "You got to go. You got," they got to get up and do the same thing.
Yeah, because ultimately,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. The next EVP that we have is a response to me talking about shadow figures. I will repeat it at the end, filtered, and try to eliminate some of the background noise as possible. Here we go. But one of what seems to be the most common type of apparition in San Antonio, Texas, is the shadow being. Now, we were talking a little bit on the break about some of the shadow beings that you guys have witnessed. Here's the response again. I tried to filter out the background noise as possible. The next EVP is going to be a whisper again, talking over John. He's discussing about a client's home and some shadow beings. Here we go.
Totally from her, because she was doing psychic readings online, and she was using these spirits for her knowledge base to answer the questions and dumbfound her callers and keep them calling in.
Okay, we're up to number 9 now. 9 unexplained sounds that came over the recording. What is the backdrop on this is that Melissa and Glenn are talking about good and bad spirits. After Glenn talks, you hear what sounds like maybe a female moaning, and then I say something. And it's not Melissa talking because it is a completely different voice. You decide.
Because they get around me, they get close to me, and I'm like, okay, bad spirit's got to go. I'll feel it's a human, and okay, I just help it move on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
This is the last EVP that we caught, or the anomaly that we caught. It sounds like interference, and it was during the time frame I was talking about my beliefs in what spirits actually are. So here we go. May just let you know be radio interference. I'm not sure. Not calling evidence, but I know that none of us heard it. If it was radio interference, it would have come in through the radio. We would have been able to hear it on their end or on my end, and we didn't hear anything. So here we go.
Everything.
And so I'm sorry. I do apologize. I don't mean to go all Jimmy Swaggart on you guys. I do apologize, but that's the one thing that's the one thing I want to see